Hi everyone. So yes, it's true. I had a major heart attack on Monday, which is 4 days ago. It's now Thursday. I did try upload a video earlier, 20 minutes, but I forgot to unmute my microphone, so I'm redoing it directly from my mobile whilst in bed because I'm having a bit of a rest. I took my medication earlier. My stomach's gone a bit crazy. So I might have to jump up and run away in a few minutes. So anyway, I thought I'd quickly try and give an update. So unbeknownst to me, over a long period of time, I built up blockages in the arteries around my heart. This was from, eating sugars and carbs, spiking my insulin regularly. But basically, calcium deposits and build up all around my heart. I've got a history of family disease. So my father had a heart attack when he was 48, and my brother much younger, and I'm 43. So this is also a response, by the way, to Larry Melchif. So thank you, Larry. Thanks for your love and support and mentioning me in your video. We've been friends for about a year now. So my quick story is that over the last 9 months, I lost about 50 kilograms, over 100 pounds, by doing a combination of fasting. So I did follow the snake diet initially with the electrolytes, and I did multiple fasts of over 15 days. I also started exercising back then, but I cut that down. I picked up a bit of weight over November, December of 2018. And then in January, I did a couple of long fasts. I did a 19-day fast with 13 days dry. And I really, thought I'd got my body sorted out. In the fasting, a lot of things were healed, hemorrhoids and rashes, and my mental state improved dramatically, so much so that I got a couple of job offers. So I started a new job 5 weeks ago, and part of the job was, to get to work and back, I cycle. So it's a 32-mile round trip, so 170 miles a week of cycling. And I do it at quite an intensive pace. And over the last 5 weeks, I've obviously increased that from 1 hour and 30 the first time to, my last time was Monday when I had the heart attack, just over an hour. So what happened is I was cycling and I felt almost immediately a pain in my sternum. So right there, my sternum. By the way, you can see the patches from where they put the ECG pads on. And during the course of the cycle, I stopped about 5 times, thinking it was sternum pain because I had fallen playing football with my son, who's 3, by the way, Larry, not 6, 3. Anyway, I got to work, collapsed in the shower. So I managed to actually lock the bike up, get to the shower. I had a hot shower and then a cold shower, which is normally what I do because both are beneficial. And then while I was starting to get dressed, I had severe pain come to my chest. And I started to lose the ability to use my arms and legs. They were very tingly. I had massive pain in my elbows, both of them, like massive pain, like off the scale, like 10 out of 10. Anyway, I got up to the 3rd floor via the elevator. So I got into the elevator, got to the 3rd floor, and basically walked into the office and collapsed. So my colleagues phoned the ambulance, who arrived within 10 minutes, and assessed me. At that stage, I was unable to move. I couldn't lift up my arms. I was in massive agony. I was hyperventilating. They did an ECG on me, and they didn't pick up that I was having a heart attack. So they decided to take me to a general hospital. So at that hospital, at the assessment table, I had a fit. So I thought my throat had closed up. I felt like I couldn't breathe. So I actually had a panic attack, and I actually went completely crazy. I was hysterical. I was like going, I couldn't talk. And I was like a jellyfish flopping on the table. The doctors all backed off because I was trying to reach out to them, I needed, reassurance because I thought I was dying. And I also could see myself doing this. I was out of body. So I thought that was it. I thought that was me dying. I was foaming at the mouth. It was terrible. Anyway, they then, because of that, thought I was actually having a psychiatric episode. And I think they thought that my pain, which was now my chest and mainly, I'll just try to show you exactly on my arm. So it's my left side, my chest cavity, down the inside of my arm into my elbow. So that's where it was. And my right arm as well. And anyway, they gave me all manner of painkillers. So they gave me morphine in big doses. They gave me codeine, aspirin, paracetamol, and some kind of sedatives, to try and calm me down. They were very good. They were calming me down, telling me to breathe through my nose. Anyway, the short story is 4 hours later they picked up the enzymes from a heart attack, and realized I was actually having a heart attack. So they then put me in an ambulance, blue lighted me to St. Bart's, the heart specialist hospital, like 5 minutes away. And at St. Bart's they did an assessment, and within 15 minutes they did an angiogram, and I was still awake. So they showed me the problem, and they basically did an angioplasty, which is inserted a balloon to unblock the artery. So it was the main sort of artery around the front of my heart, left side. And then they showed me the other side, which was also blocked, but much bigger. So if the one was like this, the other one was like that thick. That was still blocked. And they told me that they needed to unblock the one immediately for me to survive, but that the other one I would need a second procedure for, because it was a bigger procedure. So anyway, that was on Monday. I was then monitored for 2 days. The prognosis, or the measurements from the ultrasound, are that I've damaged the heart muscle on the left side. So it's 45% functional on a scale up to 55%. So by my calculation, something like a 15% weakness that they say is irreparable. And I do have a stent in place now, which emits a chemical to stop clogging. But in order for that to carry on working, I need to take medication for the rest of my life now. So that's in place. They've also given me 5 kinds of medication, which I took the first off today because I was discharged yesterday. So it's my first day away from hospital. And then my second procedure is scheduled on the 29th now of April. So a couple of weeks to give me time to recover from this, and then, carry on with that. So I'm just busy with the video, Natalia. Please don't say anything. So yes, I'm just uploading this to update you. The main thing I want to portray is that I had no symptoms before the bicycle ride of this happening. In fact, my vital signs were so good that that's one of the reasons the doctors didn't think I was having a heart attack. My blood pressure recently has been 115/70, like on average. My resting heart rate is below 60. My bloods even are very good. and that's another thing, is they've put me on statins because they looked at the combined HDL and LDL set amounts, which is 7.9, and unfortunately that's a very outdated way of measuring the risk for heart disease. The better way is to do the HDL to triglyceride ratio, which mine is 1.07 to 1, so it's a ratio of 1, which basically means that even though I've got an LDL level of 6.9, of that, the majority is the less harmful big particle LDL, like the vast majority, and the smaller amount is the oxidized smaller particle LDL-P, which is the actual dangerous one. So for now, I've decided to take all of the medication to keep the doctors happy, to follow protocol, but I'll be discussing it with them as to how to reduce off of that as soon as possible, because I honestly don't think I actually need any of the medication. So I've had a bit of a cough for the last 10 days, and I think that contributed as well to the strain, which I ignored last week, throughout the cycle. And that was, so what I want to portray more strongly than anything else is, no matter who you are and how fit you are, if you've been obese and you've eaten sugars, say 2 or 3 times a day, if you've ever done that for any length of time, go and have an angiogram or a CAC test. You must find out if your arteries are at all clogged. Because if they are, you can be as fit as a fiddle. And I'm fit now. I look, I've got muscle definition. I'm able to cycle 32 miles in under 2 hours easily. I've got massive quads. I'm muscular. I look healthy as anything. But if you don't know that you've got that blockage, if you overexert yourself, you'll strain your heart and you'll have a heart attack. And your bloods won't tell you that. The only way is to physically go in with an angiogram or a CAC test and see if you have thinning or blockages. If you have history like me, like your father or your mother, your immediate family has had heart attacks at younger ages, although they've got history of heart disease, you are a prime candidate if you've ever been obese or overweight. Trust me, it's not worth it. Okay, I'm 43 years old. I almost died twice on Monday, once in the shower and once on the assessment table. I've got a rough road ahead because I've got 2 weeks where I'm very high risk now, because I've still got that other narrowing around the back, and I've got a new stent in place which may or may not be blocked, because if any platelets come loose at this stage, they will block up the stent. But so it's not a good place to be. I'm dealing with a lot of trauma, a lot of anguish, a lot of emotional issues. I'm dealing with the family that's, if I'm honest, not very supportive, because they think that my sort of increased health and my fasting and all of that has contributed. But I just want to categorically say that that's not the case. The doctor said to me that if I was not as strong as I am, if I was not as healthy as I was, if I had had my heart attack a year ago when I started the fasting and I pushed myself too hard with exercise, I probably would have died. So, thank you for all your support, Larry. I love you. I love all of you guys who are watching this and have helped me and have been there all along for me. I love my family too. It's just I wish they would, apply themselves to understanding the benefits of fasting and autophagy. And guys, get rid of the sugar, get rid of the carbs, get yourself into ketosis more often, and live your life, because you never know when it's going to be taken away from you.